Hi, Kopites, how we doing? So, I just got a little bit of housekeeping to do first before we do the next video. So, first of all, I'd like to mention a good friend of mine, Martin at Red Raw LFC. So, he's having a bit of a tough time at the minute. He's got a GoFundMe page um, to help him get a new iPhone. If you can, please go over and donate something to him. The link will be in his video description. Um, and he puts on a lot of hard work into his channel. His subscribers are growing really fast. Um, he's powering towards 1,000 subscribers now. I remember when Martin first started, me and Dunk at Cop Talk have helped him quite a bit. He's not a very confident lad at first. Really funny guy, don't get me wrong. But yeah, now he really likes putting his videos out. It helps him with his mental health. I won't go into details. That's not for me to do. But he has had a tough year. So if you can, go over and give him even if it's only £1. I know people, it sounds like begging, but Martin's not that type of person. All he wants is something to do his videos. So please go over there and give him a hand. I've already donated. A lot of his community have donated, to be fair. I think he's about just over £200 now. He needs to get to 500. So that's that. What else was I going to say? There's something else I had to say as well, and I can't remember what it was. If I remember, I'll say it at the end of the video. So this is just basically my review of the transfer window and how I think the players will fit into the squad. So let's get started. I've covered a lot of it, but now the window's shut, there's no games really to talk about, is there? I know the women's game started again. Was it yesterday? I think Liverpool played today against Everton at Anfield. So new signings, strengths, weaknesses, and how they fit in the team. So we'll start off with Florian Wirtz. His strengths are creative spark, good dribbling, pressing off the ball, vision, ability to unlock defences, seen as one of the best young attacking midfielders in Europe. His weakness, not overly physical. He's only 1.76 metres tall. Occasionally can be less effective under high aggressive pressing. Some adaptation needed to Premier League speed and intensity. Also will need time to build immediacy with his teammates. Don't know what I've wrote there. Basically, he'll need time to gel. How he fits in. He's clearly slots preferred number 10, 8 to 10, hybrid. He offers more control and dynamism in midfield, especially in link-up between midfield and attack, giving Liverpool's shift away from Klopp's heavy reliance on wide counters. Wirtz offers a more measured, possession-orientated link. Alexander Isak. Now, this one really excites me. I know the Newcastle fans won't like it, but I'm sorry, he's a Liverpool player now, and I did tell you weeks ago it was going to happen. His strengths, good movement, link-up ability, physicality for a striker, strong finisher, decent aerial threat, seen as a more clinical upgrade on previous centre-forward options. Weakness, injury history is a concern, some groin, thigh issues, and there's a risk around adaptation to Liverpool's intense pressing, defensive demands from forward, also quite expensive, so expectations will be high, though I couldn't find a detailed independent scoping of his weakness in the sources. Yeah, so I don't know what I've wrote there. So basically what I do is I go on to Google, I type in strengths and weaknesses or whatever. I couldn't really find a great deal of weaknesses on Isak, to be honest. His main one is obviously his injury record, isn't it? It's not great, but we've got Ekitike as well, so maybe Isak won't play every single week. He might come on for the last 20 minutes, half an hour or something in some games. How he fits into the team. He looks destined to lead the line in a 4-2-3-1 or similar. Offers a focal point who can help up the ball, hold up the ball, press defenders and finish chances created by Wirtz, Salah, Szoboszlai, etc. Given the exit of Nunes and Diaz, he represents a clear upgrade in reliability and output. Hugo Ekitike, his strengths, has pace, physical presence. He's 1.9 metres tall, 1.90 metres tall. Good aerial threat, young profile, so still room to develop. He posted decent numbers at Eintracht Frankfurt and made an impact quickly. Now, I know people are going to be saying in the comments, it's Germany, it's nothing. But you think about some of the good players that have played in Germany in the Premier League. For example, Kevin De Bruyne, Roberto Firmino. You know, there has been some good players that have come from Germany and actually made it. And there also has been some flops, I know that too. His weaknesses, still a bit raw. Decision making in tight spaces, consistently in finishing under pressure, might need sharpening. Also, adapting to Premier League and Liverpool tactical demands will take time. It's the same for a lot of these players. But you've got to remember, we've brought in about 5 new first team players, haven't we? They will take time. I will fit in. Acts as a rotation option behind or alongside Isak. He offers a different profile, more direct, more physical, so gives slot flexibility, e.g. if the game needs more aerial threat or second balls, Ekitike can provide it. Also a hinge in case Isak needs rest or gets injured. So yeah, I've just mentioned that, haven't I, about Isak. Jeremy Frimpong, his strengths, very good going forward, high intensity, directness, crossing ability, pace on the wing back, overlap. He also chips in with goals in pre-season in the Community Shield. Weaknesses, defensive discipline can sometimes be patchy, especially early on while adapting to Liverpool's pressing system. May need adjusting to the tactical expectations of Arne Slot's setup, both defending and transition. How he fits in. Likely first choice at right back or right wing back in a dynamic system. After Trent left, Frimpong brings more attacking urgency and offers good rotation cover. He gives width and forward thrust, helping overload flanks and supporting high pressing. Also as well, we've got the Africa Cup of Nations, haven't we, in January? So I've said this before, I think Frimpong will play on the right wing, and then Bradley will just slot in at right back, right wing back, whichever way you're going to call it. That's obviously if he doesn't play Chiesa at right wing. Milos Kerkez, his strengths, good pace, strong stamina, good crossing, attacking support from fullback, and solid defensive reading. He's younger, so there's room to grow. Yeah, I think he's going to need time, isn't he? Don't get me wrong, I like Kerkez. I'm buzzing that we got him, but he hasn't really impressed me, I can't lie, so far. His weaknesses can be caught too far upfield if transitions go badly. Needs to learn when to hold position versus when to overlap, especially in a high press system. Also, not massively experienced at the highest level, so minor adaptation risk. How he fits in. Likely starting left back or left wing back, depending on formation. Replaces Robertson more functionally with more energy and attacking upside. Helps solidify width and support Kirkes and the midfielders in overloads on the left flank. Mamadashvili. Now, we signed Mamadashvili last summer, didn't we? But he stayed at Valencia on loan for last season. So let's go over this. He's a good shot stopper. Reacts well. Strong distribution. And seems to have improved consistently. He joins as a younger but high quality alternative to Alisson. Weaknesses: less experienced in the Premier League, so expect teething issues, weather recovery, speed of game, needs to adapt to Liverpool's defensive patterns and communication. How he fits in: backup or rotational goalkeeper behind Alisson, gives depth and can relieve Alisson or step in if needed. Valuable in the jam-packed season across competitions. Then you've got Freddie Woodman. So he was signed from Preston. His strengths: reliable backup, experienced in English leagues, decent with his feet and good mentality. Weakness: probably not expected to displace Mamadashvili or Alisson, unless injuries, just squad depth. How he fits in: third choice keeper, cup rotation option, useful to have a steady head in the case of emergencies. Also, as well, it helps with the homegrown quarter as well. I think that's why we've signed him, to be honest. Very similar to what Man City did for a long time with Scott Carson, isn't it? Then you've got Armin Pesci. Strengths: young, low risk signing. Likely good for depth future. Weakness: not much experience at top level. May take time to adapt. May not feature regularly. I don't think he will, to be honest. I think he's been brought in for the youth team. Possibly development, training goalkeeper, maybe loaned out or cover for low profile cup games. I can't see it, to be honest. I think he'll be the under 21 goalkeeper or under 23s, whatever they call it these days. Will Wright. So his strengths is a young forward, cheap investment potential. His weakness: still raw, not proven at high levels, may take time to settle. How he fits in: likely academy development squad, possibly rotation in lesser competitions or used as support for senior forwards in training. Minimal immediate impact expected. I think, again, he's just signed for the homegrown quarter, hasn't he? Although I don't think he's quite old enough. You would have to check Red Raw LFC's video. He covered all about the Champions League squad yesterday. He's gone through all the rules and everything on there as well. So go and check that out. I think it's done about 15 hours ago. He did 2 yesterday. Then on to Giovanni Leone. So he's been added into the Champions League squad. I don't think he would have been in the Champions League squad if we did get Mark Guy. Strengths: very promising young centre-back. At 1.95 metres tall, good agility for his size, ambidextrous, head reading ability, and modern passing attributes for build-up. I like this kid, me. He's a big lad, he's 6'5". There's quite a few European clubs looking at him as well. His weakness: very little experience in top tier competitions, still a gamble. Adaptation period likely, especially given physicality, speed of the Premier League. Also may need time to adjust to Liverpool's defensive structure. How he fits in: depth for the centre-back slots, likely being integrated slowly, could be used initially as a sub or rotation piece to give Kanate Van Dijk rest long term. He might compete for a starting role depending on adaptation and development. So then I've done a little bit about, I've put a few observations, not lecturing, just riding shotgun. The window is heavy on attacking additions, Verts, Isak, and Ekitike, which shows intent. Slot wants control and goal threat, but that puts pressure on midfield and defensive transitions. Some of the signings, Leone, Wright, and Pesci, are likely long-term gambles rather than immediate fixes. Liverpool seem willing to absorb short-term risk for future upside. Balance-wise, the new fullbacks Frimpong and Kirkes help plug some of the gaps left by Trent and Robertson, but defensive midfield cover and depth might still feel a bit thin if injuries hit. That's very true. I like what I've meant there is obviously we've got players in, haven't we? But they're only replacing players that we've got rid of, so we've still got quite a small squad, haven't we? I mean, we've only done 22 first team players for the Champions League. The risk is big money signings, Isak, Verts, and Ekitike carry high expectations. If injuries or form dip, Liverpool will need experienced fallback. Depth is decent, but not bulletproof. Very true. I mean, we've sold quite a lot, haven't we? We've sold Tyler Morton. Harvey Elliott's gone out on loan. You know, I know that we've got Verts and Somerslide, but I would have liked to have kept Harvey Elliott, to be honest. Tyler Morton, I understand he wasn't getting games. We have kept Bajcetic. Maybe he might get a few games in the Carabao Cup or FA Cup or something. So that's my thoughts on the transfer window. Obviously, we missed out, didn't we, on the last day with Mark Gay. I do like Mark Gay. I was gutted. I was when the deal fell through. You know, we had the 35 million accepted. He went and had a medical in London. I believe he passed the medical. And then they pulled the plug because apparently they didn't have time to get another centre back, even though they probably knew at the end of the season that he wasn't going to sign a new contract. So to say they didn't have time for me is bullshit. But let me know in the comments what you think about the transfer window. Were you happy with it? Do you think we could have done a bit more? Do you think we've overpaid for Florian Wirtz, Ekitike, and Alexander Isak? That's it for this video. Take it easy.